Okay, it's time to go in the dugout, sponsored by the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association. We're going west this week, near the Kalamazoo area to the city of Parchment. Head coach Rob Dreier joining me. Coach, it's great to have you on today. Thanks for taking some time.
No problem. I'd love to do it.
All right, we appreciate it. Talk a little baseball here. And we always like to start with our coaches and with really what drew you to the game of baseball in the first place. Everybody has a story on, how they, eventually evolved into basically being involved with a game your entire life. So it's always great, too, when we have a longtime coach at a program who actually played at the school.
Yeah, I played at Parchment. And after I graduated from Parchment, I went back to help my former coach for about 3 years while I played college ball. And then when he retired in 1984, he suggested that I do JV. And that's what I did, and here I am today.
Here you are today. Take us back. Was it your senior year, Coach, when the Parchment baseball team made a run to the state finals?
Yes, it was.
So what was that like? You think about baseball back in the early 80s.
Oh, it was fun. Back then, we got together all the time. We played on the corners. Mm-hmm. It was Little League back then, but we were really close. We were a Division III, a Class C school, beating Class A and B teams. Even to this day, we're still close. So there was a
awesome.
Definite relationship that made the difference in how our team played.
Yeah, and it is great, too, when, the guys you grow up with, and, it's funny, too, you'll hear it, even nowadays, it's funny, we've been doing state champs for 20 years now. This fall will be our 20th year, and so when I'm out, and sometimes, and this has happened, throughout the years, I'll be talking to a parent or somebody in a community, and they'll basically be like, hey, you just wait. We've got this, this middle school group that's going to be coming through, whatever high school here in a few years. And look out, you're going to be covering those guys because for whatever reason, they just click. Like this is a special group of athletes.
Yeah, it happens.
Definitely. Now, so as you mentioned, after being an assistant, I think it was 1988 that you got the head coaching job at 25 years old.
That's true.
Correct.
I did.
Yeah. Wow. So not much older than the seniors on the team.
No.
What did you learn about yourself kind of during that time?
I think when I first started, everything was about the W's and the L's, and I quickly learned that I could make a difference in these kids' lives on the field and off the field. And that was what really kept me in coaching all these years, making that difference. I've grown up just like the kids over the years. I've learned a lot. I'm not proud of some of the things I did back then. I would have done them differently had I known what I know now.
Right.
But it was definitely a fun time, a learning time, and I think I was far enough away from the kids that didn't really come into play too much.
And so after that, you did, I think, a 5-year stint there. Then you stepped away for a while.
I did. I had children. I thought this was the time I had children, and I was out of coaching for about 7 years, I think, 7 or 8 years. And it was Little League, and it was T-ball, it was softball. I was doing 2 teams at a time sometimes. When my kids were playing, I was at their game. And when they weren't playing, my assistants were running the baseball teams. So I had a number of people that were around me that wanted to help me coach, and I was fortunate in that respect.
Well, I think you probably look back at what a great decision. You got to spend time with your kids and really, teach the game, at the beginning, where the the love is built, that lifetime of love playing the game. And, I know I personally had, great coaches. My father was my Little League coach for a lot of my years. And it was, it's one of those things that, it's you just love it and you never regret it. But you came back. So I want to
I
say it
came
was
back.
like 2005. Like the Godfather 3. I thought I was out, but they pulled me back in. You come back 22 years later. You're still there. You now have well over 400 wins. So you joined an exclusive club. You're going into the Coaches Hall of Fame. What a career, right?
Well, yeah, it's gone fast. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like, to me, it seems like yesterday, and here we are.
So when you got the call that you were going into the Hall of Fame, how did you react?
I, I, I was happy, but I didn't know what to do at that time. I called a couple friends, I said, hey, let's go celebrate, but nobody was available, so I had to wait a
Right.
whole day for my friends to, get with me and celebrate a little bit.
Well, that's awesome. So I guess I want to learn about your team this season. I believe you guys were coming off a 27-win season a year ago, or something along those lines. You guys had a lot of success. Lost to Schoolcraft in the districts. They went on to the D3 quarters. But if the MHSAA site is correct right now, I believe you guys are 7-1 to start this year.
We're 9-1 right now.
9-1 now. Okay. So tell us about this group and what the expectations level are for you.
Well, this group, we graduated 8 seniors last year,
Okay.
so we only have 4 guys in the starting lineup that returned. Fortunately, we had a lot of juniors that are good ball players with a lot of experience and play well together. We brought back Aaron Jasek from last year, who was all state, 10-0 record with an ERA under 1.
Nice.
Also hit 447 last year. Blake Smith comes back as a utility player, catcher, backup shortstop, third, first, pitcher. Dylan McLean is a DH outfielder, also a pitcher, lefty. He's back. And Cole Dean, who's our center fielder and our team captain, he's our spiritual leader. He's
Uh-huh.
back. So he's also the quarterback for the football team. So he knows how to run the show out there.
Good. It's always good to have someone who can rein it in, zen spiritually, and get the boys to focus when it's needed to focus. And obviously, you guys have had a really good start. What's how do you feel? The rest of this season is going to play out for you guys.
We're doing well right now. We have a lot of games coming up because of the weather.
Yeah.
I think we have 7 scheduled next week, but we have 10 pitchers, and 8 of them have
Wow.
thrown so far,
Wow.
and I expect all of them will throw next week. So we're not too afraid to pack the games in to kind of see what everybody can do. But these guys, we're averaging 11 runs a game. Our ERA is under 1. Um, we're playing good defense. Our worst game of the year was our first game,
Okay.
and we're coming together. The weather in the field has held us back a little bit in practice, but at this point, I think we're just going to play games every day.
Fantastic. We're turning the corner now. I'm calling it. I've spoke to God, and he said that it's sunshine and daisies the rest of the way. That's what we need, and I think that's the best thing for your team. Just getting an opportunity to play as much as possible, crank it in here as you head to the playoffs, and once you get into the postseason, especially with the depth on the pitching side that it looks like you have, you can really kind of put yourself into a specialty situation. Depending on who you're facing in the playoffs.
Yes, we can. We have 4 left-handed pitchers, so that comes in handy. If
Absolutely.
if
Well,
we need that.
yeah, no doubt about it. I don't think you can ever have enough pitching. How long do you want to keep doing it? How long do you want to keep coaching?
I'm not sure. The kids are fantastic right now. The parents are fantastic. They're prepared. They play in the off season. Everything's been pretty easy. All I have to do is show up, organize, and every so often
Nice.
tell somebody to turn left. And sometimes I'm right, and sometimes I'm wrong.
Right, right. No, absolutely. And how would you describe the health of the Parchment baseball program?
I'd say
Just in
right
general.
now, in the junior and senior classes, we have a full load of players.
Okay.
COVID hit us a little bit. A lot of players in the sophomore class didn't play as much as they would have otherwise. So
Right.
some of the people fell off. The freshman class is okay with numbers, and The middle school looks okay.
Okay.
I'd say the numbers aren't as big as they used to be,
Right.
partially because of COVID. But it usually cycles around like that at Parchment. Every so often, you'll have a bunch of players, then you'll cycle down to a few, and you get back to where you left off.
Yeah, and you got the sports like lacrosse, which are always growing here in the state, and of course, track and field and other spring events. We always wrap with the kind of the Coaches Association, and just give us your thoughts on the MHS BCA, the closeness of the group. What's your experience been like with the
Well,
Coaches Association?
it's a great thing. I hope everybody joins it
Yeah,
with the convention and the clinics. My favorite thing with the Coach Association is the All Star Game.
yeah,
I had an opportunity to coach there a few years ago, and for the kids especially, this is a fantastic deal. I mean, it was so much fun for everybody.
yeah,
And everything our high school coach association brings to the table is just all good.
yeah.
You develop lifelong relationships with some of the coaches. You can ask advice if you need it. Everybody's always there to help you if you need the help.
Yeah. And now there's two All-Star games. They're going to play two games a day just because, you give a lot of those kids who maybe aren't going D1 or anything like that an opportunity to play at Comerica Park. What's better than that?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we'll be live streaming that event. So if you've got some boys that are participating in that particular event, we'll be talking about them. So Parchment's Rob Dreier, thank you so much for joining us in the dugout, and good luck this season.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.